Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Marvel Rivals Championship. I am still Tetcher. We are still in Asia. We are still on console. And we are still in the quarterfinals. On the left of Yggdrasil Path, on defense, it is OCE. And on the right will be Orbit Clan. I checked before this game, every single one of these players is a PlayStation player, so PlayStation gang in the chat. I don't own a console. I haven't been able to afford one since the Switch. We're going to be seeing Black Panther and Hela getting removed out here nice and early. Black Panther pre-nerf, still very strong. Even post-nerf, still very strong. Backline burst, pretty effective. Lunar Snow going to be saved along with the Stephen Strange. Not too surprising here, these two have been kind of like the dictating heroes throughout the majority of Season Zero's meta. And we see that continue. Final ban, Hulk has been taken out, and Punisher is going to close out the banning phase. Now, we don't see a lot of Punisher being banned away, so this might be more of a target ban. It does have some pretty solid use. I'd recommend watching my interview with Smelvin, the winners of Europe, so that you can see a little bit of information and intrigue about them. Hulk being banned out, but Iron Man being considered here. Very interesting. Paper Bags hovering Rocket, despite banning the Punisher. Very interesting. But it looks like we're going to see triple support out of OCE, giving them maximum sustain, which means we will also be seeing, by the looks of it, a Penny Parker. Very interesting. If you're going to have that extra tankiness, then, hey, might as well make the most out of it. Single support on the, double strategist on the other side, sticking to the more standard setup here. Although they are currently hovering triple duelist. So both these teams mixing it up at least a little bit here. Let's introduce our players as we open up the doors. Lane is going to be on the Penny Parker. Mr. Rowe on the Magic. Paper Bags is going to be on Rocket Raccoon. Techno Shield, good name. Going to be playing that Loki. Griff will be on the Cloak and Dagger. And Zai will be playing that Doctor Strange. On the right, it's Orbit Clan with Recursor. Going to be playing that Lunar Snow. Yufa playing the Scarlet Witch. Very fun to see. Daddy, please. Oh, God. I need to be careful how I say that this game. Going to be on that Cloak and Dagger. MD2OW on the June got you, I assume. Going to be on that Doctor Strange and Gossip Girl. Hey, here's some gossip. Absolutely kicking butt on this Hawkeye, taking out the Magic. They're going to be pushing forward. And already OCE starting to get pushed back pretty far here. That triple heal, trying to heal him up here. Down goes the Penny Parker. Picked off quite quickly here. Oh. Doing a bit of a swap positioning-wise. Griff trying to keep the team up. Those starters, by the way, it is just because I am in Europe and these games played in Asia, therefore the observer, the replay system doesn't seem to like that too much. Paper Bags taken out as we are seeing a pretty solid push coming in from Orbit Clan right now. Here comes the Bound Together. Eternal Bond. Forgot the name of that ability there for a second. Yufa from above, dropping huge damage numbers into the backline of OCE. And Orbit Clan smashing through this. The triple damage working out here. They're going to make their way in easily to this first point. Defense positions, Lane. Replacing down that biotic spider nest. Well, there's quite a few mines. There's the Seer, trying to push on through, trying to zone away the remaining members of Orbit Clan as they try to push around the corner and pushing into that Penny. Going to be very difficult with all those mines that are down here. Big damage coming out from Yufa, trying to push on through. Trying to break that front line as Mr. Rowe taken out, was trying to go do a sneaky flank there. Aya Magamoto from behind, the sneaky play coming out there by Zai. Techno Shield off to the side, has a clone if they want to try and follow up on this. It's right now 2 members of Orbit Clan have fallen. There's a copy of the Lunar Snow, so that they're able to get themselves a Fate of Both Worlds to match out their opponents. Currently sticking on the damage buff, but swapping to healing when it is needed. Nice defense. Counter Aya Magamoto. Not great there. Only really landing onto that Cloak and Dagger, which is going to get shielded out here by Techno Shield. And OCE able to turn that pretty effectively in their favor. But June able to pick off Zai in the tank battle at the front of this map. Still trying to push on through. Daddy Please pushing forward, healing up their team to the best of their ability, sticking in that dagger mode. Maximum healing output. They keep pushing forward. Jun eating a lot of damage here. Struggling with the nest a little bit here, but they're still going to try and push up. Darkchild coming in. June just gets eaten completely by that Bionic Spider nest. Mr. Rowe trying to push in, but the retreat, the kiting out of OCE, out of the side of Orbit Clan, shuts down Darkchild. They only really find 2. MDW. MD2! I cannot say that name for some reason. But OCE finally able to put a stop to this. MD2 swapping off that Moon Knight. Now going to be bringing out that Iron Man. We saw them hovering earlier. Moving on to the point. 2.5 minutes left. Mr. Rowe trying to burn through, but gets picked off. Will be reviving at the BRB, but in the meantime, the rest of the team has to hold. The melting coming in by MD2 with the Unibeam. Even not empowered, the damage output is still good. Not able to get the finishing blow, but suddenly we are seeing Orbit Clan back in control again as they push on up. Piling on the pressure as best they can, but MD2 dropped a little bit low there, hasn't received any healing. Will back up here, retreat to the rest of their team. Aya Magamoto very nearly catching them, and they're able to turn around immediately, melting through that front line. Indeed, backing up the flank once again from Magic. Daddy Please picks up the KO there. Maximum Pulse Cannon blocked by the Shield of Strange, so they turn onto lane, trying to take down the other frontliner, and Penny in serious trouble. Spider Sweeper, but the healing isn't enough, isn't fast enough to give them that extra protection. Gets blinded by the Cloak and Dagger. A little bit of counter damage. Griff set themselves up very nicely there. There's a Fate of Both Worlds, but with Daddy Please and Recursor down, all of the healing for Orbit Clan is removed, meaning OCE are once again holding them back here.
Only 60 seconds left.
Paper Bags keeping the team topped up.
He stopped them in their tracks.
Let's have a look at that amazing Rocket Raccoon damage. 894. I saw an unpopular opinions thread that was, if you've got low damage on Rocket, then you're a bad Rocket. And I was like, you know, I see why this is an unpopular opinions thread. Considering that literally every Rocket in every pro game is focusing on healing and getting really good numbers. Here comes the Seer for the damage boost, so they can try and push back with 23 seconds left. Zone out Orbit Clan as June taken down at the same time as Techno Shield.
Thanks so much.
Recursor coming in. Daddy Please has the only ultimate, but it makes them invulnerable, so they can touch the point with it to give their team time to move on. But with MD2 taken out here by Mr. Rowe, they're forced to use the Eternal Bond on the point to try and hold down this front line. Pushing back, trying to get rid of it, but Griff has dropped them in kind here, making it way more difficult for them to take the position. Darkchild from Mr. Rowe as Gossip Girl. Invisible Pulse Cannon comes down, finds nothing. Mr. Rowe onto Daddy Please. Aya Magamoto comes down, dodged. Gossip Girl taking through, but we're seeing OCE bursting through this time. Orbit Clan, the Aya Magamoto will come out, but it might not be enough. OCE with the numbers advantage here. The problem with multiple damage dealers is you are squishy. They're holding for now. Iron Man touching it from above, using the bridge for protection, trying to get it. Here comes the Galactic Legend for Yufa, trying to touch the point. They've managed to get Jude onto that point to keep the delay going as Orbit Clan are actually starting to fall apart. Pushing forward, but they've got the saving grace. Jude and Yufa are holding this for them. While it looked rough, they are starting to get momentum, but OCE with the sustain, with the healing, showing exactly why triple supports is prioritized over triple DPS and why two front lines are prioritized. They're holding with everything they can right now. Aya Magamoto available for Jude, who might need to drop it for the turnaround. Takes out a Loki clone. Zai, Aya Magamoto blocked out with the shield, but they do lose MD2. And Daddy, please, there's the counter stunning out Griffin Lane, but they can't push on through. They don't have the sustain. Jude is falling. They're holding this beautifully. Rocket is completely untouched in the backline. Mr. Rowe is getting healed up, and with Darkchild, they'll be able to push one more time onto this point and burst through the attack. Invisible Pulse cannon comes down. It is blocked. One down, two down, gonna be taking out the rest. They're still coming in. The rotations and movement speed coming in from Orbit Clan are actually buying them a lot of time. It's been over like 3 times. That overtime is just sitting right there. But Orbit Clan, they've actually been able to, with the quick rotation speed of the Iron Man, of that Star-Lord, able to get on the Lunar Snow, I've been able to get back onto the point and are actually pushing in towards point number 2 right now. Trying to make it happen. Darkchild has come out. They saved it for that little bit longer. Lunar Snow down. Down goes Iron Man. It's another quadruple, but I'm hesitant to say it's over because of what just happened, but they finally get him. 1.87.78 meters. That was interesting. A kind of Zerg-style strategy when they realize that they don't have the tankiness to like actually force their way through or to sustain. They just picked characters that could rotate really quickly and just utilize that to just charge them over and over again so that there was always someone on the point because they always got there so fast. I mean, it worked for a little bit. I'm surprised how well it worked. Of course, they did only get 1 point out of it with a little bit of distance. Now it's up to OCE to show the power of sustain on the attack now.
30 seconds.
They were able to hold on defense for a long time, but attack is going to make this a little bit difficult.
Trickster, where will you make your mischief when the world disintegrates? Oh, this is hardly the...
Apologize for the fact I'm still a little bit nasally, as you've known for the last several videos. I record these in, like, over the course of a couple days each time, and then I usually take a day or 2 break, recording multiple a day usually. But I have had a cold recently. Yesterday was the first day I was able to do 2 casts in a row for a while. But we're dropping another one in today. Here we go.
Equal to its destination.
MD2. I'm going to keep saying the name correctly now that I finally locked in on it. Sticking with that Iron Man. Yufa. Back on that Scarlet Witch. They're sticking with the triple damage this time. Trying to zone him out as the cart already pushing forward. Yufa's landing some good damage there. Between Scarlet Witch and the Iron Man, they've got a little bit of close up, a little bit of further away, but the damage output is consistent here. Forced to back away though. Jun trying to hold that front line, and they've been able to do so, taking out Zai. Mr. Rowe went down as well, meaning we will see Orbit Clan able to hold at this early stage. Lane, off of the front line of their own actually, they've adjusted. I completely missed this. They have brought out, instead of going double tank, they are now double damage triple support. With Lane swapping off the Penny Parker onto the Psylocke. Gossip Girl picks off Techno Shield. On the side, Griff keeping the team topped up. And Zai looking to try and get some momentum out, but they're getting targeted pretty consistently here. There's the stun coming out of that Scarlet Witch, making it very hard to go through very tight enclosed areas. Invisible Pulse Cannon comes out, blocked by Zai. Shut down once again. Eternal Bond coming through. Jun takes out Mr. Rowe, but they are revived immediately thanks to the BRB from Paper Bags. Here comes Scarlet Witch, but no! Taken out by Zai with the Maelstrom of Madness. Sia comes out from Paper Bags, allowing the team to try and push up the healing output onto Mr. Rowe as they try and smash through. Gossip Girl has taken out lane once again. Into the backline goes Magic. This is where they live. This is where they get the power. But they don't want to get caught out of position. They don't want to overextend it. They don't need to. Try to push their way through. Dark Child at the ready, but not available as they are also taken out by the Maelstrom of Madness. Lane. Try to get some poke onto MD2. Two sides of that high ground. Can hear the Psylocke, but cannot see them, sees them. Lane little bit on their own there. Little bit ambitious, is punished for it. Mr. Rowe getting melted with the unempowered Unibeam here. Portal from behind. Invisible Pulse Cannon comes out, takes out Griff, and they're able to block that Eye of Agamotto. Orbit Clan with the turnaround right now. Shutting down yet another push with 55 seconds left. Orbit Clan maybe about to make me eat my words here as MD2 cleans up the regeneration domain. Down goes Techno Shield, who cloned the Iron Man, but is picked off before they can drop that Invincible Pulse Cannon. Laid down once again. MD2 pretty much uncontested here. They have abandoned the Magic with seconds to go in this map. They bring out the Moon Knight and the Namor. They've also swapped Techno Shield off that Loki onto the Adam Warlock. High damage output could give them that chance to turn around, but they're still trying to commit this. Here's the Seer. This will be their last push. Techno Shield, exactly what I said. High damage takes out the Iron Man. They're trying to push up. Trying to push forward. Zai is down, so they've lost their front line. They need to deal with this Scarlet Witch, but it finds no one. The protection is beautiful here. The stun does come out, though. Griff and Paper Bags are taken out. Techno Shield goes down. Zai will be returning, but Mr. Rowe barely upright. Lane barely upright. And they have no one on the point. And Orbit Clan making me eat my words there. Nicely done. The single front line, they weren't able to hold the point, even with that triple sustain. The last second swap did seem to get them some good value as time went on, but that Eye of Agamotto from June got you. Able to turn it round in the last moment. And this swap onto the Iron Man for MD2 really turned around the team's fortunes when they were starting to struggle that little bit earlier. 13 final hits for Mr. Rowe. Really did good work for their team. Just ahead of Zai, June Got You, and MD2. All of them are on 12 final hits. Top eliminations will go over to June Got You. Really setting up for their team there with 29. Paper Bags, living the rocket lifestyle, sitting in the back there, only getting eliminated twice, getting 22k healing, which is one of the highest in the game. Is a little bit lower, because obviously they are triple support, meaning the healing is a little bit more spread out. Sometimes you'll layer it so that you don't get as much healing on your statistics, because everyone is full health more often. Whereas Daddy Please with 25k, beating out Griff by 1k, and Recursor with 27k healing, topping out that number. But the biggest numbers we see in the game is the damage blocked. Solo tanking in game number 2, not in game number 1. So even though June Got You solo tanked both games, they still tanked less than Zai, because Zai, their team had healing, meaning they were getting hit by more damage, so they were able to tank more. They only got eliminated 2 more times as well, so it is a little bit of swings and roundabouts between these two strategies. overall, I think the big issue that we do see here is while the triple support does have some insane value and does get really good work done, you need to be very reliant on what DPS you pick to deal with it. To, like, be the one that's being supported. The magic worked out for a while, but after a while, they seemed to realize that they just weren't breaking through anything and did swap it off. That might have come a little too late. I think we should have probably seen Lane stick with a second frontliner or something ranged earlier while Rose stuck with something ranged that wasn't like a Psylocke. Something consistent, like this Namor. Namor would have been a pretty solid option there. Could have really helped disrupt that way, but I think an extra frontline would have really made the jobs of Orbit just have a little bit more trouble. Because while they have all that extra damage, it's a little harder to deal with when you're being hit by a magic or a Namor. Namor is a fantastic option for triple support, especially against someone like an Iron Man. And it's even harder if you're against someone like, for example, a Hulk. Or a Venom. Someone who's harassing the backline. Someone who can get in and get out, take 3 healers worth of healing, and disrupt that Hawkeye. Disrupt the Iron Man if you can jump up to get him. But in this case, they went for the double damage. And they got quite a solid amount of damage out of it, so there's a solid chance I could be wrong. I am not a pro player. I literally watch people play this game. I think I'm plat at the moment, which isn't the highest. I'm just doing my best. But let's get set up for map number 2. This is a best of 5 series. Let's get set up for our second game in this best of 5 series. And we are here for map number 2 in this best of 5 Orbit Clan. Gonna be up 1-0 OCE. Currently sitting behind. And also looking to bring out Squirrel Girl. Or at least just showing some team synergy. Gonna be seeing the Hawkeye banned away. OCE thinking that was a little bit too tough to deal with. And you know what? I don't blame them. The damage output was really solid. Good aim. Black Panther getting removed by Orbit Clan. When you got that many squishies, makes sense to take him out. Lunar Snow gonna get secured for Recursor. Did great job with it. Doctor Strange secured for both teams. Gonna be giving good value. Both of them used it very well. Now, what do we see as the third ban? Hela will be removed. As is Loki. Loki is sensible. If you think your opponents might try triple support again, then Loki is a solid ban. And it looks like they might. We're seeing Loki and Adam... We're seeing Rocket, Punisher and Adam Warlock being hovered. Will Griff bring out potentially the Cloak and Dagger again? Give them that triple strategist play. Techno Shield. No, Griff currently is looking in that Squirrel Girl. Looks like they might just go for a 2-2-2. Taking it back to basics, back to standards here. Orbit Clan, they are sticking with what they used last time, which is triple DPS, triple duelist. With MD2 sticking with Iron Man, although maybe swapping out because they are retreating back to base. We'll have to see. Yufa on that Scarlet Witch, it worked last time, and Gossip Girl on the Punisher. OCE, they have swapped out, but of course there is still time to swap before they roll out as they are on attack now. On Symbiotic Surface. But this time, they're running with a solid, consistent damage dealer in the form of the Punisher. And then running the double frontline. This time the Magneto. So not going with a dive backliner. They're going with maximum sustain to allow Mr. Rowe to just blast everyone. This is about as much protection you could give one person in this game, full stop. Sai sets up the portal to the low ground here. Enemies up on the high ground, so they're going to try and take the stairs. Rotating up, they've got infinite ammo. Trying to take out MD2, and they drop huge damage. Quick healing coming in. Culling turret onto the high ground. Trying to burn through Strange, but the turret is deleted here. The triple damage value. BRB up on the high ground, meaning they need to be quite careful here. Mr. Rowe trying to maximize damage. They're being hit from multiple angles, though. Gossip Girl was the first to fall. Yufa trying to force their way through Zai, force their way through the front line. Good blind by Griff on that Cloak and Dagger. Zai is tanking through, doing their best to hold the line, but this time they've got help. Lay on this Magneto may be the protection the OCE needed last game and could not find. Another culling turret, again flanking MD2, buying some time for their team, and here comes Mr. Rowe. Smokescreen trying to bait away from Gossip Girl, who has taken that high ground position, as has MD2, but the point has been taken. OCE doing what they couldn't do last time. They take out Gossip Girl, chasing down MD2, picking up the double, and finally they have found what is working. Little bit of extra sustain, a little bit of extra frontline to help them break this siege. Make it harder for those triple DPSs to justify being here. MD2 swapping off the Iron Man. They know they're a target now with Punisher in the air. Moving on to that Psylocke. Culling turret expires. MD2 still on the flank, trying to take out Zai. Lane trying to get in between them to help protect. Will do so. The Vanguards looking out for each other, keeping an eye out. There's the senior beacon. Leading MD2. He's going to back out of danger here. Mr. Rowe on the high ground, getting flagged and picked off there, but they'll come back at the BRB. Immediately turning back around, taking out Yufa. Gossip Girl, though, got Zai. While this distraction was happening in the back line, the front line got melted. Doing some good damage, but getting frozen out. The wraparound there by MD2, setting themselves up beautifully. Doing so again to Mr. Rowe as they step up into a risky position with no strategist near them. An unforced play there, getting punished so quickly with that psionic stealth. Trying to play like a Vanguard, getting punished. Sometimes that kind of aggro can be rewarded huge if you're able to get that aggressive position set up for your team and create space. But in this case, Mr. Rowe now going to force their team to back up a little bit. As Zai, they'll make their way up to the high ground, forcing back MD2 as into the back line they go. They're once again trying to find Mr. Rowe, but they cannot find it. The card is moving slowly forward. You can see MD2 off to the side there. They have Dance of the Butterfly at the ready. Here comes the final judgment, trying to melt through that front line. Aya Magamoto on the back line. No Seer Beacon, but it's not needed as Mr. Rowe! They race against the clock. They take out the Scarlet Witch on the last possible second. Here comes the Dance of the Butterfly. Zipline to get out of there. And MD2 helps Recursor pick up Techno Shield, but Techno Shield is already back. Paper Bags with another revive. The BRB is getting so much value this game. The cart moves in, the choke point with the healing. Sia was thought about but cancelled out here. Mr. Rowe, culling turret in the doorway to shut it down. Smoke bomb to try and get out of there, but they get caught on terrain. Sia with the damage output getting removed here. They're in trouble. No BRB beacon at the ready. They're still going to try and take it. Paper Bags dashing into their team's healers. Get Zai out so that they can rejoin as this card is only 41 centimeters away. Paper Bags healing as best they can. Yufa goes down, but so does Griff. And a very even fight. June got you. Taking out one. Portal from Zai, trying to get them onto the point, but they are not able to do so. Mr. Rowe, they've got a minute left. Culling turret, well, they're not going to recommit. They are going to hold the position. Yufa swapping off of that Scarlet Witch, now on that Star-Lord. Zipline up to the high ground. Get the better angle. Team is regrouped. OCE. Now with their chance. Culling turret from Gossip Girl. Making it quite hard to find the right angle here, but they're still going to try it. Mr. Rowe with the infinite ammo, but they can't find the right angle. Finally going to start getting some damage out there. Onto Recursor, getting focused down, but the triple healing is good. You can see MD2 is causing grief in the backline once again, causing a distraction, buying time, meaning that Zai is getting focused down here because they don't have their team following up on them because they're dealing with that Psylocke on the backline, which has been a game-defining pick so far. Yufa picks up Paper Bags, now onto Mr. Rowe, takes them out with 12 seconds remaining. A fate of both worlds, shutting down a counter-engage. And we're going to see Orbit Clan once again shutting down OCE. Dars and the Butterfly to clean up everyone who is left. Zai has Portal, but is nowhere near in time to use it. 151 meters. 17 centimeters. That is the score to beat. Orbit Clan putting on quite the performance this time. Once again, showing the triple damage. With a coordinated team, it can work. OCE, they pushed better than last game. So this adjustment into double front line did work. And Mr. Rowe adjusting again. But the question is, are they adjusting too late? This happened last game, where I feel like they might have adjusted like a little bit slow. They're bringing out the Namor. Namor coming out for Orbit Clan as well, as is Spider-Man. Ooh, very fun.
30 seconds before
But
you
Mr.
attack.
Rowe
Get ready.
abandoning the Punisher here. Bringing out that Namor. Lane back on the penny for that defense. We've seen some amazing pennies on console. But now, Mr. Rowe, with this pick, this is a character who can survive someone like a Psylocke a lot more effectively. Those Aquatic Dominions allow you to pressure the backline of your own team if someone wraps around and tries to dive it. Zai is doing something with portals. Oh boy, Portal Grief, directly underneath, come on. Oh, the angle's a little bit off, not gonna drop underneath them. As such, we're gonna enter into Brawl phase. Gossip Girl, trying to take out those Aquatic Dominions. Gets healed up. So, Spider-Man, backline pressure, this is exactly the kind of thing that Namor might do well against if they can get set up and get positioned. Spider-Man playing very similar to an Incredible Hulk here. Dive in, do damage, cause disruption, get out. Gossip Girl will get healed up a little bit. Finds Paper Bags, gets the hit, forces the dash away, will take out the BRB. That is very big here. Lane takes out Yufa on the side with that bionic spider nest. Gossip Girl is doing some pretty solid damage here, but their team is starting to fall. For all that time, the Gossip Girl is just moving around, rotating in and out. Their team is still battling. We'll find the hit with the pull onto Mr. Rowe. Mr. Rowe has to Aquatic Blessing get into the air. That will give them time. Allows the pick up onto Gossip Girl, who has swapped back to the Punisher. Mr. Rowe is dropped by MD2, but they return at the BRB, which was respawned. Frozen Spawn, Aquatic Dominions, Horde of Proteus. Counter on the other side for the turnaround play as they try to get onto that Dr. Strange, but they're focused down. Mr. Rowe getting into melee with the frontliners as we are seeing Orbitcan smashing through this front line here. I have Agamotto for the counter, though. This could be big. Where's that Maelstrom? Dodged. MD2 staying in this fight because of that. Daddy Please is already down. OCE able to stay standing. Returning from spawn, Mr. Rowe finds MD. Not able to get the final hit, but they did get some damage out. Zai, though, buying time with the defense. They have held this at 0%. Incredible work so far by OCE. 1 minute, 20 seconds left. MD2, they're back with Iron Man. Again, the more pretty solid against this. Mr. Rose, a lot of pressure on them here. Here comes the Spider Sweeper from lane to buy some time, zone out that back line, and trap the front line. Galactic Legend for Yufa, the final judgment. With both of those together, I don't even know if any team would possibly have enough sustain to get through that. Lane is trying to delay, trying to survive, but they took down one. They only took down Griff, but Griff already reviving at the BRB. Daddy Please is down, MD2 is down, Yufa is down. And that is going to be another hold through a Galactic Legend and a final judgment. Incredible hold. MD2 with the wraparound, getting ruined by the terrain there. Sneaky play from behind, trying to get a pickup, unable to do so. Trapped, gets caught on the terrain. Daddy Please, trying to buy a little bit of time there with the Eternal Bond. They get caught by the Horde of Proteus though. Gossip Girl with the last second swap onto the Captain America so they can touch the point with no time left just to get a body there. But they are taken out as well. MD2 on the way, but they can't make it as OCE take the map and even up the score. OCE taking a solid lead here on that map, evening up the map score to 1-1. That was so much more effective than their game number one play, adjusting and it working out beautifully for them. 14 final hits for Zai, 7 for Lane, 8 for Mr. Rowe. Even Rocket got over 1,000 damage. Speaking of top damage, pretty close, but it's going to be pipped by just over 100, just under 100, sorry, by Mr. Rowe. Just beating out Zai, and also June got you. Damage blocked. Excuse me, this cold is kicking my butt. 35k damage blocked, coming in for Zai. 18k healing, the top amount. Going to be going in for Griff here, even with that triple heal, when we sometimes talk about them getting less numbers overall. It is still going to be Griff who tops out the numbers. All right, that's going to be game number 2. The score has evened up between these teams. It is 1-1 in this best of 5. Both these teams need 2 wins in order to move on to those upper bracket semi-finals. I'm going to go quickly grab myself a drink. Try and deal with this throat a little bit. So do not go anywhere. Or do. Just pause the video. It's YouTube. You can do what you want. And we'll be right back with map number 3 of this best of 5 semi-final.
No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, destination. I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. You wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me, put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grave 6 feet like Kenny. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling.
All right, I've got some medicine in me. Let's see if that makes a difference. Got some medicine and some fluids. We are heading to Shin Shibuya for map number 3. If this best of 5 score is evened up 1 to hiccups, apparently. It's going great. Great cast. 10 out of 10, Chris. My name's Chris, by the way. Hello. But please call me Tetcher. Black Panther. Taken out once again by Orbit Clan. Again, when you're playing that squishy, it's a sensible removal. Hawkeye taken out again for OCE. Still a little bit scared of Gossip Girl. Getting that level of accurate. Oh, and these hiccups. That level of accuracy. Hella. Still available, though. Loki going to get secured. Get that God of Mischief. And there it is. Hella, for the first time in this series, will get secured. While removing the Hawkeye, they picked up one of the highest damage dealers in the game. And we're gonna see the ban on Penny by Orbit Clan. OCE earning a ban there lane, causing too much pressure on that defense, which in Shin Shibuya convergence defense is something that we could see set up. And Luna Snow banned away this time. Interesting.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Mr. Rowe on the Hella. Gossip Girl on the Punisher. Are we going to see triple damage once again? Yufa is currently hovering that Star-Lord. Lieutenant teams are sticking with the strats they know. Triple strategist versus triple duelist. So far, scores 1-1. As we head on in. OCE. Going to be using that Loki to copy, most likely.
Time to vanish.
Nice rotation. Very quick rotation to the point there. Or technically translation, if we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be pedantic. Should be probably be swapping the Eternal Bond there. Going to be extra healing over time and point protection value. Orbit Clan sticking pretty similar to what they did last time. Just bring in the Mantis and the Hela this time.
The more the merrier. We can pull it off. I've been in worse games.
Let's see where they go here. Zai looking for that portal entrance. It's up on the high ground. Rotates in with the Cloak of Levitation so they can frontline for their team. Try to put some pressure onto the members of Orbit Clan as they push on through. Paper Bags already reviving Griff as they were picked off right at the start there. Big damage taking out Daddy, please. But Lane on the high ground, MD2, Mr. Rowe down by Yufa though, as Yufa is getting some great flanking value. Gonna get some damage onto Paper Bags. But a little bit zoned out. Will be forced to pick up the map heal. Techno Shield. Continuing to heal up the team, keep the pressure on. Zai goes down, meaning that the front line is going away a little bit, meaning they're fully reliant on Lane, on that healing output to protect that Magneto. Lane is trying to hold it. Once again, we got a little bit of stutter.
It seems we have company.
We have a lot of stutter, apparently. Griff keeping the team going as well, tanking it through as Zai will be returning to the point. Mr. Rowe has swapped back onto Magic here, off of the Hela. Up to the high ground, does not find their target, but they do hold positioning, and it's gonna be a pickup. Griff able to finish off Yufa with MD2 taken out by Lane. Techno Shield sniping, Jude got you.
I'm good to go.
Gossip Girl trying to zone away the opponents. Give Orbit Clan some space to move up. And that double front line, a little bit too scary. Trying to burst through the shield, get a little bit of damage done, but it's healed up quickly. Daddy, please. Also on this flank, trying to heal up. They're able to snipe out Mr. Rowe there, but MD2 and Yufa went down in exchange. Gossip Girl with the final judgment, trying to melt through there, get onto that Loki, get onto Lane. The shield is dropped, but the missiles are too powerful. Able to burst through some of the damage there. Paper Bags has brought back Lane though with the BRB. Aya Agamotto for the turnaround, but it's being blocked here. June got you, living up to their name there, keeping their team up with that map protection. The shield to keep them going. Mr. Rowe into the backline, trying to pile on the pressure, trying to keep them off the point here. Getting some good damage output. Not finding any eliminations yet. Making their way forward, Eldritch Whirl onto that Punisher, forced to back away with the stepping disc. Mr. Rowe getting targeted, chased down here in serious trouble. MD2 on the high ground, just spotted there, but Galactic Legend will be coming out from Yufa, trying to take Mr. Rowe down. Meteor M absorbs inside with the Cloak of Levitation, is able to get the pickup. MD2 will find the BRB. Rocket goes in for a little bit of a counterplay. June got you. Start on the Techno Shield, is able to take down one. Now trying to push on, but Mr. Rowe is there and doing a lot of damage, as is Zai. They are chased down in melee. Forced off of the point. Daddy, please. Steps onto the point. Here comes the Goddess of Death from MD2. Trying to buy time on the point, getting some good focus damage. Very good focus damage. Spider Zero blocks for a bit, but Gossip Girl will be the first to fall there. MD2 goes down. And this is gonna be OCE with another lockdown, unless this portal can set them up nicely onto the Cloak and Dagger, trying to force them back. Blaster Barrage comes out. They really want that Cloak and Dagger off the point. Mr. Rowe has Darkchild. Damage output's good. Down goes Strange. And with that being the only front line, no one else is close to the point. And that is a hold at 0.
Time to switch things up.
Nicely done.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
OCE with a solid bulwark of a defense there. Now Orbit Clan, They need to stop a single third from being taken, basically. And with triple damage, that basically means they just have to wipe their opponents on cooldown. Or, looking at their composition, adjust? Adjust? Have they decided that it's not working? And it might be time to swap because we already are seeing Cloak and Dagger and Rocket and Mantis. They're going. They have adjusted. The first to break was Orbit Clan, and they will be the ones moving on to the triple strategist as well. But they are running it in the same way that OCE did in game number 1, with a single frontliner. They are still running the Hela, and they are still running the Iron Man. So they're still going for DPS and wiping potential. This is going to put basically all the pressure for this team onto June Got You. Because if June Got You cannot hold this front line, then this is going to potentially be quite a short game. I think that portal was cancelled. I don't know if it was activated. Precursor up on the high ground, keeping the team topped up. Daddy, please. Sending down the heals here. Zai holding the front line, pushing in. Remember, June Got You needs to basically hold against everyone, but they're starting to get concaved here. Starting to get closed in. They've been able to pull back, give themselves a little bit of space. The BRB is spotted, but June Got You unable to deal with Zai as they take it down. Try to hold. June Got You. They have the healing, but is their team doing enough damage while this is happening? Mr. Rowe is trying to zone down MD2 here. Focus down the backline as well. Try and take out Precursor. Not able to get the final blow, but Zai and Techno Shield will. Blinded by the Cloak and Dagger. Eye of Agamotto sidestepped, picked off, and that is going to be another map going over to OCE. Nicely done. Zai getting that MVP there. Using that kind of levitation to get to the high ground to take out a BRB at one point. Getting the most eliminations, the most final hits in the match. Almost getting the top damage in the match. Only being beaten here by June Got You. Being in that front line, trying to do AoE damage. See, this is a ranked game. There would be like 3 people on voice right now with the worst mic quality you've ever heard, yelling at you saying, tank got more damage than insert damage dealers here. Never play damage again. That's not how it works. In this case, they tried the strategy. They tried to keep the healing up. It did not work because of positioning in this case. June Got You tried their best, but they got closed in on too aggressively there. The healing output was good. The protection was good. The damage even was pretty solid. But they just weren't able to get the right angle there because of the double protective front line. Lane just making sure that Mr. Rowe had so much space to move with all that protection. Techno Shield and paper bags and Griff keeping Zai alive whilst giving Zai all that freedom. Lane standing on the point. Zai able to move out of position to like try and take stuff down like the BRB. June Got You just got closed in on with their backline getting damaged and zoned out. You can see MD2 there was out of action for part of that fight because they took too much damage and were zoned away, and all the healing has to focus on the front line because you've only got one of them. The win goes in there for OCE. They go up to match point here. 2 wins in this best of 5. If they win one more, then they'll be moving on to those semi-finals. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with map number 4 in this best of 5 here in the Asia Console quarterfinals.
my feelings, I'ma be fine. Need time and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings, I'ma be fine. Need time and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight.
And here we go, map number 4. What could be the last one if OCE can lock this in, and they are planning on going full Black Widow corpse. That's corpse without the E. Loki getting banned out from OCE. Got them some good value. Orbit Clan taking it away. OCE, they still got PTSD for game number 1. Hawkeye will be removed. What is the first lock for OCE? As they finally got some momentum going. They're going to lock in that Doctor Strange. Not too surprising. While we do see that Jun Got You has been doing some great work here, Zai has been matching them. There's a solid ban here. While the Penny can be dangerous, it is a domination match. They have been struggling. Every time this Magneto has showed up, they have had difficulties. That massive protection from the magnetic barriers has been too much to deal with. Now OCE. No final ban in this map number 4.
Your hero.
Very risky.
Judging.
But that's going to put Lane back onto the Penny Parker. Paper bag sticking with the Rocket. Zai going to be sticking with that Doctor Strange. I saw an Iron Man being hovered there. And Orbit Clan, I would not be surprised. If they have a second tank player, because right now it looks like they don't have a Vanguard player at all, outside of Jun Got You, from how they've been playing. This would have been a perfect opportunity to Doctor Strange, Hulk, and Iron Man. Just go in deep, get value out of it. Gossip Girl is currently hovering,
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
currently hovering Black Widow. There we go. Moving over to that Hela. Techno Shield, they have yet to pick their character. Let's see what they lock in on here. Mr. Rose starting us off on that Hela again. Picking up the rocket jetpack. There we go. Techno Shield going to be sticking with the Mantis.
3, 2, 1.
Team sticking with basically the same star. Techno Shield now onto the Lunar Snow. So the team sticking with basically the same strategy as last time.
It was my destiny.
Portal out.
Enemy in front of us.
Therefore, aggressive position will be taken by OCE, taking that front line up to the high ground. Zai, once again, taking the position, utilizing the fact that they have Penny to buy them a little bit of time and space if they need to, and they have the healers to pile the pressure on elsewhere when they need to. Techno gets picked off there, a little bit far forward, gets punished. Stutter is there. Trying to burst through that front line. June Got You. Getting focused down here. But it's a big wraparound, making that Burning Spider Nest a little bit less valuable here as Lane, eating a lot of damage, is taken out here. Griff trying to keep the healing going. MD2 is back onto that Psylocke. Characters did them so much work on Symbiotic Surface. Position taken back by Orbit Clan. Currently 16 to OCE, 7 to Orbit Clan, but Orbit Clan in control. Looking to even up the map score. They do good damage output here. Gossip Girl helping out as well. The dive coming in. The eternal bond from Griff. Trying to set up that point for control. Good damage, but that's going to force out the fate of both worlds. Arachnomines doing a little bit of extra damage here. Dance of the Butterfly coming out from MD2 to try and burst through. They've taken out Griff and Techno Shield. And it's going to be Orbit Clan taking control of yet another point here. Gossip Girl takes out Zai. Yufa chasing him down as well. And Paper Bags eliminated. That is essentially a full team wipe here. How is that statue still standing?
Their team's capture progress has passed.
It is holding on by like the tiniest piece of plaster of Palace. Plaster of Palace? Plaster of Paris. Gonna be pushing in Zai. Trying to zone out for their team on that front line as they push on in up to the high ground. They're trying to take the duel, which they do, but they've lost Mr. Rowe, their main damage dealer. I am Agamotto coming out onto Yufa and Precursor, and that will be huge. Gossip Girl is in the air trying to take out Zai, but will it be able to finish the job? In the meantime, Lane has taken the point back. Mr. Rowe dropped low. Nice stun out there. Gossip Girl forced to back away, getting the healing. Portal comes in so that Yufa can come in with that Galactic Legend from above. Get them into battle faster, and that will get them onto the point. Get chased back Paper Bags, who will certainly fall here. 85 for Orbit Clan, 87. OCE are falling apart at the seams. Was this Magneto the tool that Orbit Clan have isolated and been able to secure themselves a round here? It looks like yes, as they lock it in. Round 1 of map number 4 goes over to Orbit Clan. Orbit Clan back in. One more win for Orbit Clan and they will even up the map score and take us to a 5th map in this best of 5. OCE, they now need 2 in a row.
30 seconds.
Abandoning Hela, looks like we're moving over to the Magic lane. Currently
Remember, you're more than welcome in the Sanctorum.
on this Penny Parker.
Dark side anymore, Stephen?
I am, but books and tea will teach you how to cope with it. They
The
worked for
ability
me.
to try and set down Symbiotic Spider Nest. This area is a little bit better for them. They can get some good value here.
4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Going to be pushing up once again, going with the portal play by Zai.
Now I do it with a spell. A shortcut through space.
Zai takes them directly to the objective, ignoring the front line. They try and take position, which is better when you have that Penny. Doing good damage, trying to front line pressure here because Penny's going to be a little bit further back. Zai takes out Danny, please. Pushing on through, chasing them all the way back here. Dropping low though, Zai has overextended and will be punished for it. Can't see, what was that? Getting flashbanged mid-game. Dance of the Butterfly from MD2 on the point, doing good damage. Trying to take out the Bionic Spider Nest. Drops low, but tanks through. The nest does go down. Now onto the backline. Trying to take out Cloak and Dagger, which they will do. With Griff down, Orbit Clan take control. 20-4 right now. Zai on their way back in. Mr. Rowe dancing in and out. Are they planning on using this ball? No way. Does it fit through that doorway? Are they planning on using this as, like, cover? Or were they just trying to get it out the way? Zai trying to find the right angle to step up. Here comes the Seer. On to June got you. Trying to take him down. The Eternal Bond from Griff got a little bit of extra healing and damage on that point as we are seeing OCE trying to make the play onto the point. I Am Agamotto came out from just June's got you. Trying to get into the back line. Gossip Girl taken out by Mr. Rowe though. Galactic Legend coming down as Lane is trying to just control the point. Get onto anyone here. They'd love to take out Psylocke. But it's going to be Griff who will fall. Paper Bags revives them though. Mr. Rowe is down. And OCE counter Eye of Agamotto coming out from Zai on the high ground. Finding two though. Getting MD2 and Precursor. That's giving them great positioning on the point here. But Daddy Please, with the Eternal Bond, has set their team up very nicely for the point, but they just do not have the numbers. Daddy Please will be backing up, not wanting to get caught out here. Mr. Rowe holding the point as Gossip Girl takes to the sky. Getting blocked out as the Strangers do battle in the air here. Ju Got You takes out Zai, who was trying to get rid of that damage from Gossip Girl. Lane goes down as well. That's the front line. Mr. Rowe dropping as well. Barely standing right now. MD2 from behind. Ju Got You secures that pickup. 76-42 right now in favor of OCE, but Orbit Clan control the point.
I was worried. Their team's captured
Darkchild at the ready. Dance of the Butterfly and Fate of Both Worlds also up. Precursor holding the defense for the moment. Mr. Rowe pressuring forward. Good damage onto MD2, forcing the Dance of the Butterfly out quite early here. Not finding the damage they want, forcing MD2 to back up, burning that ultimate. Here comes Darkchild into the back line. Huge damage right off the bat onto Gossip Girl. Now diving into the doorway, in and out to trade out damage and cover. They've got the healing. There's the Fate of Both Worlds though to shut down the damage from Mr. Rowe, but they're still trying to isolate and take people out. Forcing Cloak and Dagger into the stealth. Ivakamoto stuns out Lane and Zai as they try to push on through. Yufa forced to back away, but they have the Galactic Legend, may have to use it to try and get the team back into the game, and they're being chased down by Techno Shield here. Techno Shield with the hyper aggression. That's going to be the point retaken by OCE. Ju Got You taken down. Daddy Please trying to buy a little bit of time on the objective, but they are taken down. MD2 with the Psychic Stealth touches the point for the overtime. Galactic Legend was used, but they find nothing. OCE takes the point on the map, meaning that we are heading to Odin's Archive. If OCE take this, they move on to the upper bracket semi-finals. If Orbit Clan take it, we are heading to map number 5. No pressure. Do either of these teams adjust strategy? It's looking like a no from here. OCE. Let's have a look at some of these statistics. 10k damage from MD2, but 11k from Ju Got You. Solo frontline, always the one being attacked. But damage blocked. Being held right now by Zai. 8k more than Ju Got You. Top healer, currently Precursor. 3k more than anyone else in the game. Zai, once again, portaling their team in. Ju Got You. Portal is on cooldown. Portal on the low ground. Jump pad up to the high ground. Zai trying to zone him out. Trying to keep that Bionic Spider Nest for Penny protected. Try to prevent him from stepping around the corner. Unable to do so. They will be forced to back up closer to the point there. Zai taking a lot of damage here. Backing away. Where's the healing? Will finally get some. Mr. Rowe already down. Fate of Both Worlds to counteract the Dance of the Butterfly. There comes the Eye of Agamotto. Precursor is annihilated there. Now onto MD2. Pressuring them just for your sheer presence even. Mr. Rowe trying to get onto MD2, but MD2 a little bit too slippery, a little bit too mobile. Good damage coming out. Mr. Rowe helping their team control the point. 32% currently in their favor. Big damage onto Ju Got You, who is barely standing in this fight, is able to get out of there. See ya. coming out, giving them the positioning advantage. But they're finally taken out by Mr. Rowe that gets the double. Lane setting up the spider mines, the arachno mines.
Need some help.
Just making sure that point is protected. At the end of the day, you can zone, you can try and trap the enemy in their base as much as possible, but it is the point that matters. 68, 69, 70%. OCE. Watching that timer tick up as they try and make their way in towards that semi-finals must be so painful. Must feel like you're watching the timer tick down in an exam. Or waiting for an appointment that you know what time it is, but it's just taking so long that you just want it to happen. You just want to get it as overtime is ticked. The portal coming in, allowing June Got You to step onto the point with the Eye of Agamotto, Galactic Legend for Orbit Clan to try and reclaim it at 99% in the overtime. They want lane, but can't find the right angle. Everyone is a bit split out here. Blaster Barrage to try and hold the point. Here comes Penny with the spider time to try and just get mines on the point. Buy time for her team to respawn as Darkchild is in the backline, causing damage, wiping out MD2, takes out June Got You, Gossip Girl down to Techno Shield, and it is the defenses of Orbit Clan disintegrating here with only Recursor even up. It's going to be OCE who take the map and will be moving on to the semi-finals.
Another epic victory. Big win.
Zai, another well-deserved MVP here. Nicely done. 11k damage. Finally overtaken at the very end there by quite a few people. Mr. Rowe getting up to 14k. 13k for June Got You. 13k for Gossip Girl. 12k for Yufa. 15k for MD2. But in the end, it did not matter, as the sustain and tankiness is what closed it out. 34k damage blocked for Zai, 19k for Lane. Even Mr. Rowe, a damage dealer, a duelist, and Griff both got 8k damage blocked. Not half bad. Healing. It's going to be Recursor that once again comes out on top, putting on another very solid performance here. Griff a little bit behind. Paper Bags evening up with Daddy Please. But we're going to be seeing Orbit Clan in the lower bracket. They have their chance at redemption, as OCE will make their way into that upper bracket semi-final. Congratulations to them. We have one quarterfinal left, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll be moving on to some lower bracket games before we get to those semi-finals. So if you're enjoying, please consider dropping a subscription, hitting that bell icon so you see when these videos go live. If you really want to watch them early and help support me, you can become a YouTube member. And you can support me for a little bit of pocket money. And you get to see these videos one day early, whenever possible. There are some times like now when I'm struggling to keep ahead of the curve a little bit because it's a struggle for me to do more than one cast at once. Oh, sorry, in one sitting, I should say, not at once. I'm not just casting multiple games at the same time, although I have done that. Video of that on my channel for Heroes of the Storm, if you want to check that out. That was funny. If you're also enjoying yourself, potentially leave a comment. Question of the day. I just want to hear comments in general. All of your like positive feedback and like love you've given me has been like the best thing. Like, I am serious there. Last year, 2024, wasn't that great for me until like right near the end. Like, it was a little rough. Not a great year overall. But coming into this year, feels honestly amazing with just how kind you have all been for me. From jumping back in after like 3 years away and getting all this support is legitimately heartwarming. So, heartwarming? Heartwarming. All right, guys, put your harps in the microwave. Don't do that. I think they have metal strings, maybe? I don't know. Thank you all very much for watching. Comment of the day. Rocket Raccoon. Is low damage bad? Is it fine to have low damage on Rocket Raccoon? Or should you, I don't know, get BM'd or something? That seems to be the argument that most ranked players seem to have between each other. So leave a comment. Let me know your opinion on that. I have been Tetcher. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you all next time.